the three of you as winners. The Global Maritime Forum invited you and the other sort of the 20 essayists that did the best essays to join us for a workshop in September, where sort of you work together on developing a statement from the future maritime leaders. And I would now sort of invite you to share what this statement is about. And Vladimir.
Yes, thank you. So as members of a newly formed Future Maritime Leaders Network, we are deeply involved in improving maritime industry for workforce of tomorrow. With that in hand, we have identified three needs that we believe require focused attention and action of today's leaders industry.
Excellent. And the three needs that you identified?
Yeah, so the first need that we identified is to increase transparency and accountability, and by that we mean to have whistle-blowing policies in place and also data sharing programs. We strongly believe that having increased transparency and accountability is going to build a culture of trust and integrity within the industry.
Thank you so much. And the upgrading maritime education and training?
So I believe education makes everything to make the basement of the industry. As for the younger generation, they are most aware of sustainable making. For example, survey from Ipsos Group in 2019 said that generations under 35 years old was the most aware of sustainable development goals. So if we educate the younger generations and let them involved in this industry, I think we can make a better, greener world in shipping industry. So that's why I believe educating younger generation in maritime industry is very important.
Thank you so much, Saki. And then for the empowering people in the maritime industry?
Yes, so finally we call for a commitment to empower seafarers, the backbone of our sector. They must be given safe working conditions, fair wages and protection from abuse. We recommend implementing wellness program to address seafarers' mental and physical health and providing clear changes in reality abuses of concern which fear and retaliation. The maritime industry should read and enable championing industry and inclusivity and diversity.
Thank you so much. So increasing transparency and accountability, upgrading maritime education and training, empowering people in the maritime industry. But we also have a closing.
Yeah, so the Future Maritime Leaders Network stands ready to collaborate with industry leaders and stakeholders and for addressing critical issues facing this sector. We believe that by working together to increase transparency and accountability, upgrade education and training, and also empower individuals within the maritime industry, we can build a more resilient and sustainable future for this sector.
Thank you so much. And with that, the statement, of course, is available also, not in a drawing, but in a document. Maybe we open up for questions.
Yeah, so we have some questions coming in from our YouTube live stream, and the first one is for all three of you. It is, what are your hopes for the Future Maritime Leaders Network, and why do you think such a network is so critical to the industry's future, but more importantly, to you as a young maritime professional? Shareefa, would you like to go first?
Sure. So my hope for the industry is definitely to have more social inclusion. I definitely want to see more women at the table and not just at the grassroots level, of the organization, but really see them given the opportunities and being supported to climb the corporate ladder and to have their voices heard. And I believe that this network of young leaders is really important because I think us as youngsters, we are the backbone of our economies. We are, we are the talent in our economies. So that for me means we ourselves are like the source of sustainability. And I definitely believe that we also bring fresh perspective to the industry, which is much needed if we are thinking of gearing the industry towards new direction. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for that. Saki, what are your thoughts?
I think the career choice for like maritime industry is very important for younger generations. If a children or even like younger generation are interested in like in information technology, engineering, or like mechanical things, they may say like, I want to like be engaged in space, or like as for transportation, I want to like be engaged in train, or like they may not say that they want to be a seafarer or they want to be engaged in maritime industry because they don't know how much impact we have in maritime industry. And also like that shows that how like we are a little bit isolated from the like in terms of like occupation. So younger generation should have more opportunity to know the maritime industry and also have it as a career choice so that they can do specifically what they want.
And Vladimir, what are your hopes?
Yes, my hope is that our voice could reach shipping industry leaders and to hear, so that they can hear our ideas, as we believe that these, which we established as targets, are important for the future of maritime industry.
Thank you. We have another question that relates to education. And they say that you mentioned the need for the industry to work more closely with maritime education, including academic institutions. Why do you all think this is so important? Shareefa?
In my analysis and during my write-up of my essay, I identified the lack of access to education as one of the causes why we have such a low female participation rate in the industry. So I believe by addressing this root cause, we would be tackling this issue and helping by, for example, providing more scholarships and subsidies to women to encourage them to get into maritime training and education. We are going to have more women participating then economically in this industry. So for me, that's a very important way to address this issue. Yeah.
Thank you. And Saki?
I want to mention about the developing countries. Now in this world, like I see a lot of articles proudly saying that they're like leading countries or like organizations are providing aids, like technical or financial aids to like developing countries. But I wonder how well they're actually used to tackle the problem. So I think basic education for developing countries, including like maritime technical support, can enhance their like ability to like operate the maritime industry related problems well. So I really focus that the necessarily to provide educational aids to developing countries.
Thank you. And Vladimir? What are your thoughts?
Yes, I would like to point out that it is very important that we need to train more people, especially for the future which is coming. And by that we can start including universities and training centers in that program as well.
Thank you. So we have another question that talks about you submitted an essay in mid-July and you were selected as one of the 3 winners, and then you were flown to Athens to join the annual summit. How has it been for you here?
For me, it's been a great and enriching experience. I have met so many key stakeholders in this industry, in the maritime industry, across the value chain, from the insurance companies to the investors and you know, the ship owners themselves and all of that. So it's been a lot of interesting conversations, and I think there's much to take back, go home and reflect upon, and hopefully we'll come together as a young team to make very solid changes to the industry.
And Saki, this is your first time out of Japan, correct?
Yes.
How has it been for you?
First of all, I'm really grateful to be here, and also I really appreciate the support from my professors and also family. What is interesting through the summit was that the theme of this year's summit was from ambitious to like action. And yesterday I attended the chat room and discussions, and I was really impressed that current leaders, not younger generation, current leaders are really focusing on feasibility, how like actually they can put into action and like how well they can tackle the real problem. So how to use the money, how to like make the legitimacy very well. So when I was writing the speech, I was just kind of itemize the dreams or what the future would be like, but they were more like focusing on the current situation. So that was the impressive part for me, and I learned a lot from them. So I believe, like, I hope there are more opportunities for also younger generations to learn from the current leaders so that they can be a great future leaders.
Thank you. And Vladimir?
Yes, so I'm very pleased to be here, and I'm happy that Global Maritime Forum enabled us as young maritime leaders so that we can shape the future of the maritime world. And my impressions from the summit is that during this summit, important points have been made, and targets are being described. And it's really a pleasure to be here with these remarkable people and to create this wonderful group.
Thank you for that. So we've heard a lot about your hopes for the Future Maritime Leaders Network, you know, what compelled you to write these essays. But what I'm really curious to hear is what interested you in the maritime industry to begin with? Shareefa?
So for me, what really struck me was the low female participation rate in this industry, and I felt like I had to get my voice out about this because if I compare this to the industry that I currently work in, like the financial services industry, I believe we've progressed much in terms of female representation across the industry, but sadly, I think the maritime industry still needs to make much progress towards that. And as the young generation, I think it's an issue that I cannot remain insensitive to, and I felt I had to take action and write about this. Yeah.
Thank you. And Saki?
I'm originally interested in ecological, like environmental issues, and to move forward, I think starting from maritime industry is the best choice because the scale of the industry and also the power of collaboration, and also it is like the transportation industry. So I think there are more that this industry can do, and also the current situation, I'm not satisfied with the current situation where like less people know about the impact of this industry. So I think I need to move forward to like make it more popular and make it more bigger about like making the industry more powerful to make a sustainable world.
And Vladimir, what attracted you to the maritime industry?
Well, there is one fun fact with me, and that is that I am a fourth generation of seafarers in my family. And I was born on coast, and that is the main reason of me being a seafarer at first place. And then recently I have changed career for a shore-based job in the same industry.
Thank you. Do we have any more questions from the audience?
First of all, thank you for being here and inspiring us with your great thoughts and new ideas on the business. I would like to ask you if you see a lack of a specific sector in the maritime business that women are not so well represented. I mean, is it the administrational departments? Is it the hands-on and in the sea, on the boat? What do you think about that?
So if I may take that and others may chip in, I think it's more on the like as seafarers on board. I've had the chance throughout this conference to meet an ex-seafarer, a female seafarer, and we spoke of the challenges that women specifically face on board, and sadly, based on her experience, but also from what I have learned about this industry, a lot has not changed in the past few decades. So I think women should, be encouraged more to join the industry, especially if they are going to be working on board, perhaps through better seashore rotation programs, having a mentoring opportunity, so they can be encouraged to stay within the industry even after their child bearing years. But also have the adequate support from women who've made it to the top. I think that's very important. And also, having more flexible, maybe maternity policies and encouragement, I think, from leadership position, so that they can really stay and progress within the industry.
I want to focus, strongly say that the importance of improvement of working condition, because I know some people say that what is what is so important about the woman's rights to work on board. They say there are so many physical tasks on board, which is better for men to shoulder those responsibility. But I think seafarers' working condition is not that best, because they're far from home and also very strict, and they sometimes have mental health problems. And let's think about it, if we have comfortable working condition, the quality of work is enhanced very well. So it's not just about the woman's issue, but men should think about women's rights. Men should think about more about their working environment, so that in the end, men and women can equally have benefits to improve their working conditions.
My opinion is that shipping industry and seafarer's job by itself is not very well promoted in the world, and by doing such and by improving conditions of seafarers while they're turned on board, I think that we can be more visible, and we can attract also women in this industry.
Thank you. I think that's it for questions. Thank you all three.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.